So I'm back with a follow-up on the Hypermax filter. I did a kind of a, not quite an unboxing already. I'll put a link into that. So it's just set up now. I'm cycling this tank at the moment for African cichlids. But anyway, water is a little cloudy, but that's down to me because the coral sand, I wash it 5 times and then I just give up. So hopefully that will clear. What was I going to say? Those familiar in Europe, this is a Dual Rio 450, the Aquarium. Now I was going to take out the Dual. Dual has an internal filter. I was going to take that out, but I decided to leave it in just for redundancy. If the Aquael does give me issues, at least I'll have that as a backup. And they're quite good filters. You know, people put them down, but they're quite good. So this tank will be completely over filtered. What I did with the intakes, I just put filter sponges on them. These are the intakes that come with it. So I ordered some online and they were very fine. So I ended up paying for the Tetra ones. It's hard when you can't see them. They're quite coarse. So anyway, I'll see how I go with that. So it'll kind of have 2 pre-filters because it has a pre-filter in the actual, you'll see that in the other video, in the actual filter itself. Noise, people are asking me about noise. So it does make some noise. It's up to you whether that's an issue. I don't know if it'll come across too well, but I hope you can hear it. There's a hum there. And there's the 2 inlets, 2 outlets. It's on full at the moment. Now you can take it down in increments. There's the controls there. I might take a photo of that and put it at the end because it's hard to see in the cabinet. But I'll just take it down now. And I'll take it to the lowest, which is 50%, I think. But see, it's going down there in increments. And of course, the filter is getting quieter now. Now, I'm going to go down to the minimum. Double beep tells me I can't go any further. So, it's got quieter. Now, I'll show you the flow. It comes with spray bars as well, by the way. But I just did the kind of preferred stronger flow. Now, just have a look there if you can see the flow. I have the 2 there together. And I have the inlets, one at the very end and one in the middle, but it's up to you how you want to. So that's at minimum flow, okay? Which is 50%. Now I'll put it back up to full. I hope this is giving you some idea. I just don't want to take those off there. So going back up, one at a time. And the double beeps to tell you you've reached the max. Well, you can see it anyway, but that's what the beeping's about. So, now we're back on full. And as you can you see? Yeah. I have these set up. They're kind of going diagonally across the tank. Now, if I had those facing directly down, it would hit the end of the tank. No, well, it is kind of hitting the end of the tank anyway. I'll pop one out, it's just so you can see. Now, there you go. And there's 2 of those. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of the flow. And, right, let's fix that again later. Now, very early days. Obviously, it'll take a while, you know, to see if how good or bad it is. So the cloudiness, as I said, is down to the coral sand. And also, I'm being a bit old-fashioned. I have a prawn in there to try and cycle the tank. So, and this has just been set up. So, anyway. It seems good quality. The only thing, the fittings are quite cheap. But then again, it's a pretty cheap filter for the size. Like the hose attachments and that, they're you can tell they're not very, very expensive. But that's a minor thing. Also, someone commented on the other video, because I mentioned that you can see a video. I think all of the videos, unless more have gone up, are in Polish. So there's a version at a trade show where the display here is completely digital, and this filter, the version heats the water, and it's got Wi-Fi and all gizmos and gadgets, which, as I said, I've no interest in. I just see it as something that could break down, but I know a lot of people would be. But the guy who commented on my video said they are actually going to bring that out. Like, it's going to be two versions. This version and the more high-tech version, which will be, he reckoned it'd be about twice the price. So, but anyway, perhaps he knows somebody in the company, I don't know. But anyway, that's what he claimed. So that's about it, really. My other negative thoughts would be about the customer service at Aquael. Like, I sent them 2 emails about issues and they just completely ignored me. I even went to the bother of translating one into Polish. They still ignored me. So if something goes wrong with it, I'll be relying on the dealer, I'd say. What was the other thing? Oh yes, I was going to give a shout out for Irish people. I got this off a guy. He's a small online, he's only set up Aquatic Dublin. Google Aquatic Dublin, you should get him. Now, it does come with, he has an EU version, so it's got an EU plug. And I just used a converter plug rather than an adapter. You can there you go, AQ filter, and I think they're safer. It actually opens up and the EU plug clips in it, and it basically makes it into an Irish UK plug. I did a bit of research online and I got a 3 amp version. I don't know if that's really important, but I'm not an electrician, but I got a 3 amp one of those. They're called converters now, but it's not a converter as in a UST. It's the same voltage in the EU as the UK and Ireland. So it's just, I think, a little bit, I don't know, it seems a bit safer than just an adapter. But anyway, and also if you buy off Aquatic Dublin, you'll get a the manual. The instructions are in Polish. But I got him to get those translated for me, so I'm sure he'll have a copy of that. So they're not officially on sale yet in UK, Ireland, but they will be. And I said there may be 2 versions, the more expensive version. Oh, and the other important thing I wasn't sure of before is there's 5 trays here. 2 of sponge. I took out 1. I only have 1 sponge, but that's up to you. And the top tray, the 5th tray, is to be left empty. It's kind of like the guard, on most canister fillers, you put a guard or a screen to stop media or whatever getting up into the impeller. And so in this one, you just leave the top basket empty. But that's pretty much it. I put, they give you a little bit of silicone grease. I put it on, there's an O-ring here in the pre-filter. There's an O-ring obviously in the filter head itself, and there's an O-ring under the impeller cover, and they tell you to grease these, but there's also, of course, like most filters, O-rings here on the connectors. They didn't mention that, but I use those as well. And to access the filter, all you need to do, it's a little bit different from the smaller version, the Ultramax, There's the outer, I'm not going to open them now. There's the big outer tabs. There's about 5 of those or 6 of those. And then there's the 2 grey ones. The grey ones, you open the big one, you'll see in the other video. The grey ones are to get the lid off. But to access the pre-filter in this, all you have to do is open this one of the big tabs, and you can get into the pre-filter. which is handy. This is a completely over filtered tank, but my way I looked at it was I was going to get two of the 2000 Ultramaxes, the smaller ones, and this was actually cheaper. But it is a monster filter and it takes a hell of a lot of media. I got so much media into this, far more than you'll get into a Fluval because of the design with the sponges on the outside. But anyway, to each their own. I will obviously do a follow-up video at some stage, but I'm going to leave it for a while because it's pointless. Just have to see how it goes. Anyway, I hope this is in some way helpful. All the best.